Hello, hello YouTube! Welcome back to Silver Archer Tarot. I'm a Sagittarius with the tarot deck, and today in this pick a card tarot reading, we are going to explore why they are attracted to you. Now my intention with this is to be a love reading, so this is going to be why your current partner is attracted to you. If you're single, this could be why your crush is attracted to you, or if you're like so single there's no one in your life, this will be how you why your future partner is attracted to you. I guess you could do this platonically if you wanted, but my intentions with this was to be like a love reading. Why they are attracted to you as your romantic partner. So here are the questions we are going to be exploring here. So first we're going to do an energy check and see what your personality is. So if this first part does not resonate with you, then you should pick another pile. We're then going to look at what they admire about you, what you help them with, what about you caught their attention, what is the context in which you meet, and anything else we need to know about this connection. So the context in which you meet could also be confirmation about this as well. But yeah, if you're single and you don't have anyone, this is still, a good reading for you. So we have 3 piles today. So pile 1 is represented by the 2 of Cups, pile 2, the 4 of Wands, or pile 3, the 10 of Pentacles. For our reading today, we are going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot. That is not these cards. But we're going to use the Everyday Witch Tarot, and then we're also going to pull a few oracle cards at the end. We're going to use Spirit of the Animal Oracle, as well as the Starseed Oracle. Before we get into that, go ahead and choose your pile. And if you need extra help, I also have sun signs here that I will assign to each pile. Or you can intuitively decide which pile you want. I just know sometimes people don't like making decisions. Okay, so for those who still need a little bit of help, let's pull 4 for each. Is that 4? Okay. So again, your sun sign does not have to match up with this. This is for people who don't like making a decision. So if you don't know what pile you want, then use this as your guide. So for pile 1, we've got Virgo, Leo, Pisces, and Aquarius. Wow, very even with our earth, fire, water, and air sign. For pile 2, our 4 of Wands, we've got Taurus, Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer, also very even there. These look crooked. Okay, and then for our 10 of Pentacles, our group 3, we have got Scorpio, Libra, Gemini, as well as Sagittarius. Okay, so timestamps will be in the description, and I will see you at your pile. Hello pile 1, if you chose the 2 of Cups as your tarot card, then this is the group for you. Additionally, if you don't like making decisions and you had the universe decide for you, then you are a Virgo, Leo, Pisces, or Aquarius. If you chose this card intuitively and you are not one of these signs, that is fine. There are multiple ways to pick a pile. Okay, so we are going to put this off to the side, and we're going to start by doing an energy check. So what is pile 1's personality? What is pile 1's personality? Okay, we're going to cut the deck. I'm going to take the top from each and do bottom of the deck. Okay. So as an energy check, your personality. Alrighty, so we have got I don't know why this looks so crooked. Okay. The Moon, 10 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, and 9 of Pentacles. So here in numerology, this would reduce to 9. So we've got 2 9s here. I don't know if 9 is significant to you, or maybe the month of September or something on the 9th. But okay, let's get into your personality. So I think you are someone who is guided by intuition. Like, you do listen to your intuition. You are checking in with the universe to know what the right path is, what the next step is. I also think you might be kind of mysterious. Like, I kind of wonder if you're one of those people who like rarely posts on social media, or when you do post, it's like people still wouldn't actually know what you're doing in your life based on the content that you post. But I have a feeling that you're not super open about what you're doing in your day-to-day, what you're doing in your life, which is totally fine. That's great. My sister is the same way. Like, I don't even think she posted her boyfriend until they got engaged. But she just doesn't post on social media. So you might be that way, where publicly people don't really know what's going on with you. Couldn't be me. If you're the opposite and you're like, I post everything, then this pile is probably not for you. So I would go check out pile 2 or 3. Also, my dog is eating, so if you hear that in the background, that's what it is. Okay, we have 10 of Cups here. So I think you are someone who is family oriented. If you're not family oriented, I think you're very community oriented. Your friends are very important to you. Getting together with friends and family, celebrating things, as well as making memories with little moments, right? We've got a family here who is enjoying a lovely picnic by the river. So yes, it's big things that you like to celebrate, but also I just feel like you're the type that is like, hey, let's have like a family barbecue. There's no reason for it. I just want to get everyone together. Or, hey, I'm gonna host, I don't know, Mahjong Day or Book Club Day, or I just found a new cookie recipe, so I'm gonna make cookies, like come over and have some. I think you're someone who really finds value in community and relationships and pouring into your relationships. And so because of that, you are that person who does kind of know everyone, does have a lot of relationships, does always have, you know, community events happening. Interesting. So yeah, again, I think with the people in your life, you're very open, but I just feel like either when it comes to new people or again on like social media, more public facing platform, you're not posting everything, right? You're more mysterious. People need to know you in real life if they want to know what's going on in your life. I want to skip to this 9 of Pentacles right here too, because I think this goes with it. I think you're someone who also understands that life is meant to be enjoyed, and that while yes, you're going to, you know, work hard, you're going to try new things, you also know when you need to wait, when you need to relax, when you need to just enjoy everything that you've worked for. Here we've got this girl who is chilling in her garden. She's reading a book. She's got a bottle of wine. She's enjoying the fruits of her labor. And so I think you're someone who has a good work-life balance and a balance of like, yes, I'm gonna celebrate with my community, do family time, friend time, but I'm also going to take moments to myself, whether that is reading a book, playing video games, getting a coffee somewhere, getting a facial or a massage. I think you're someone who also takes care of yourself and is very balanced in that way. Lastly, with the Page of Pentacles, this can represent trying new things. So this can represent being like new in a career field, or like being a beginner at something. And so I think that this could be a couple of things. You could be someone who is literally like at the start of your career or a new endeavor. If you have recently like graduated, have a first job or a second job, like you could currently be early career, but you could also be someone who's not afraid to try new things, especially when it comes to their career, or even like new fitness things, or like, oh, I want to train for a 5K. Let's do couch to 5K. Like, I think you're someone who's not afraid to start over with things, but also it's because you know you're not truly starting over, you're starting a new thing, but your skills and your experiences in life have also like led you to this new chapter and this new thing. So that's what I'm seeing with your personality. You seem to be quite balanced. You really care about the people that are in your life, and you make it a priority to not only celebrate them, but just like commune with them, fellowship with them, spend time with them. You also know it's important to enjoy your own company and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And you're also not afraid to try new things. You know, that's part of life, is going on new journeys. Okay, if that sounds like you, then keep watching. I'm going to move these up as we pull our next set of cards. So now I want to see what they admire about you. So now this is where we're getting into like your person. This could be your partner who you're dating, your crush, or your next partner if you are super single right now. So pile one, group one, what does their person admire about them? What does their person admire about them? Okay, we're gonna have to cut the decks again. We'll pull 3 for this one. Okay. Knight of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, and 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so right away, again, I'm seeing this like community-oriented aspect with our 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, I think you are someone who is neighborly. You stay connected with friends. Maybe you're someone who like has everyone's birth dates in your phone and you actually like send them a birthday card or like a birthday phone call. Yeah, I think you are like super, again, just like community oriented, whether that's family, colleagues, church community, neighbors, friends. I think you're community oriented and they really love that about you. I think you also work well with others. So if you are on any kind of like committee, again, whether that's through church or work, or you and someone else are planning someone's party, right? You're kind of taking the role of event planner. I think you work well with others, and that's something that your person admires about you. I think you're also such an optimist when it comes to love. Like with the Knight of Cups here, I think you love love. I think you love love. I think you believe the best in everybody. And you're such an optimist when it comes to relationships. Because of that, you might be kind of quick to tell someone like, I love you, or you might be like very direct, like kind of soon. And so I wonder if, like, we'll have to see the context in which you two meet, but I kind of wonder if like you actually made the first move with them, or maybe like really encourage them, like let them know, hey, like I am interested in you. But I think you love love, and I think you're really encouraging with other people. Like you're so optimistic that everything is going to work out. When your friends tell you about a date that they go on, you are like, you're amping them up, you are hyping them up, you are helping them to navigate the situation. And again, you just see things in like a really positive light, especially when it comes to love. And that's so refreshing to have an optimist with that. Here are the 5 of Pentacles. So something that they admire about you. This card is interesting because usually this card reflects like not wanting to ask for help. It can also refer to childhood wounds. So I wonder if that's something you've had to really grow in. Maybe you are so community oriented now, but maybe that was actually hard for you to get there. Or maybe there was something, some sort of childhood wound that you had that you did have to get over. I don't think it's like community related though? It could also be that you help children in some capacity. So I don't know if your job is related to children, if you're in education or pediatric nurse, speech therapist, you know, something with children. It could be something like that. Like maybe you are helping people figure out their childhood wounds. Or by childhood wounds, also just like helping them navigate through anything negative like they're dealing with as children. Again, something like therapist, pediatric nurse, teacher. I'm curious to hear how this resonates with you. Do you work with children? Is there something that you had to get over yourself? This could also be that you are the one who is welcoming people and making them feel comfortable, even if they don't typically ask for help. Maybe that's something that you're really good at, right? Your positive energy, your loving energy, your community-oriented energy. Maybe you're the ones who is taking others in, making them feel like it's okay to ask for help and delivering on that help. Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, so this is what your person admires about you. Let's get into what you help them with. So I'm just gonna put these on top here. Okay, so what does pile 1 help their person with? What does pile 1 help their person with? I also want to take back of the deck energy here. Okay, Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, 8 of Cups, and 2 of Swords. Okay. So there's a few things that you help your person with. A big one is making decisions out of confidence instead of fear. And this could be in like so many areas of life. This could be saying, for example, if they're like debating about taking a job versus staying at the current one, it's like, okay, are you making this decision because you're comfortable with where you're at? And you're just like scared to try something new? Or are you like truly confident that like staying at this position is what's best for you? Right, so helping them not make decisions out of fear, but out of truly like what is best and what's gonna be fulfilling for you. This could even have to do with like asking for opportunities, like applying for jobs, applying for promotions, putting an offer in for a house, beginning like an entrepreneurial endeavor. Like again, are you going with what's like safe and comfortable, or because you're afraid of what like this potential outcome could be, or because you're actually confident in this decision that you're making? And you can still say no, but it's a confident decision, right? It's also important to know when maybe in an opportunity, yeah, this is a great opportunity, but like it's not right for me. And so instead of saying yes, because I feel like I should take this opportunity, even though I think it'll make me miserable, but it looks good on the resume, like I'm gonna be confident and say no because I know that that is what's best for me and my family and our next steps. So I think that's something you're really gonna help them with. Additionally, with the Hanged Man, this is your ability to wait it out, be patient, not have to make decisions immediately. And so I wonder as well if maybe there were someone who made decisions quickly, again, made them out of fear, and now you're like, no, we can actually sit on this for a minute. We don't have to make a decision right now. In fact, if something is making us make a decision right now, and an informed decision, then we should probably say no, right? Like we probably shouldn't be pressured into making any kind of decision. So you're also helping them with patience, with not feeling like they have to make any decisions, especially if they are flustered or don't feel informed about them. I think you're also helping them with following their intuition, because I wonder if they've always known what the right answer for things is, or like what path they like want to take, they're being called to take, but maybe have felt that society would say, well, this is the better decision. So I think you're also encouraging them to follow their intuition, because their intuition is good, right? The intuition right here is spot on. We see this witch throwing knives and blindfolded, and she hits the target immediately, right? So not being afraid to actually follow your intuition, or, you know, their intuition, because it is spot on. Along with this Eight of Cups, again, I think you're just really helping them with like decision making, because the Eight of Cups is the ability to walk away when something is no longer serving you. And so again, I think back to if they, for example, have a job and it is just so draining on them, but again, society says, well, this is like a really high level job, it's a really admirable job, but it's really not best for them. I think you're going to help them say like, no, you can walk away from it. This could also be other responsibilities as well. If your person, you know, with Queen of Wands energy, that's usually also like mentorship. So if they are mentoring anybody, again, this could be workplace, this could be church, they could be a coach, a teacher of some sort. Knowing when it's no longer fulfilling, and it might not even be helping the other person at that point too, right? If you are so drained, then really like what can you pour out into others? And so I think you're also going to help them see, hey, you can drop this thing. We don't have to be fearful about what society thinks, right? You're feeling burnt out. You should follow that intuition and make that decision with confidence. Hello, sorry about that. My memory card was full, so I had to go switch it out real quick. But what I was saying is I wonder if your person is really ambitious. Like, I wonder if, I'm kind of getting like Pentacles and Wands energy, which is like earth and fire energy. I'm wondering if they're really ambitious. Okay, maybe they're a Leo, because I kind of wonder if they really care about what other people think about them and what society thinks about them, which is why they do have trouble like leaving situations or making the decision about what's best for them versus what society would say is like, what society would like put as like a higher status. Because this could also be in terms of like, hey, I like this apartment or this house. This is better for my commute. I like the neighborhood, but like I can't afford this like bigger house or this house, I don't know, on the beach or this loft in the city, but like that would extend me. And yeah, that's like great, but that's not like my dream. But I wonder if they are so torn between these decisions because like they do care about what others think of them. So that could be a lot of things. It could have to do with them being Leo. They don't have to be a Leo placement. It could also be, it could be that they came from not having a lot. And so they're like, well, now that I can have all these things, a new car, like big house, whatever, like, should I have that? But also like, that's not what I need, you know? So I don't know the origin at this point about why they navigate the world this way, but I think that's something that you're going to be able to help them with, is making the decisions that are best for them, following that intuition they already have, not being frantic and having to make a decision, but knowing when to walk away from something that is no longer serving them. That's something you are definitely going to be able to help them with. Wow, that's a good strength to have. This makes me think also that like they really trust your opinion and trust your insight, take what you say into consideration. Like if you're able to help them navigate major decisions, that's amazing, right? Like that's what we want in a partner ultimately. Okay, so now we're gonna ask pile one, what about you caught your person's attention? Or again, if you're single and don't have someone yet, what will be what catches their attention? Boom, boom, boom. And then we'll also do bottom of the deck. Strength, Page of Swords. Ooh, Eight of Swords and Judgment. Interesting. Okay. We have 8 multiple times. That's interesting. I don't know if maybe you're a life path 8 or I don't know. Maybe August means something to you. Could also mean nothing. Take what resonates. But one thing that caught their attention is how confidently you move throughout the world. Like even when things are kind of crazy or would make someone else feel really flustered, I feel like that's a word I've been using a lot in this reading. Things that would make other people feel flustered, you approach like so calmly. That's not to say that like everything in the world you approach calmly, but I think especially compared to your person, they were like, wow, I would have handled the same situation so differently, and you handled it with such confidence, with such strength. Like you were not fazed by what was going on. You knew who you are, what was best for you, and you followed that intuition. So you're good decision making, or at least being like the calm in the storm. That is something that captures their attention. Here we've got the Page of Swords. So with pages, we think of more like childlike energy. Swords are often like words communication. So I wonder, this could be a few things. It could be that you're really playful in how you speak and talk. This could also be that you're like kind of petty. So that could definitely be something that caught their attention. And maybe it's this dichotomy of like you approach things with such like confidence and grace, but then you're also just like really fun, maybe funny as well. Like you can make humor, you can make light out of situations like in an appropriate way, but in a way that keeps things fun and not so serious. That could definitely be something that catches their attention. With the 8 of Swords, this is interesting because this card is usually about kind of feeling trapped even when you are in control. So I'm still kind of figuring that out. You might be thinking like, oh my God, I know exactly what this is talking about. I don't know, it could have to do with kind of this like calm in the storm. Maybe when you go through things, maybe there is this feeling of like, hey, I've done the best that I can do. Like it's up to the universe now. Could be something like that. I don't know, we might pull a clarifying card for that. Next we have Judgment. So here we've got this witch dancing to her own tune. So again, I kind of wonder if you approach things just like way differently than this person approaches things, or you see things, you like your perspective is so different. Again, where they would be like really flustered with something, you were calm enough to like make jokes. And what is that phrase? Go to the beat of your own drum kind of a thing. I feel like you just live differently than, again, this person does. And they're like, wait, you can be like dancing in the rain. You can be like having fun through life. Even when things do get tough, like, wait, you can have a positive attitude. And back to like with your personality, right? That 9 of Pentacles, you know that you should be enjoying life along the way. You should be enjoying what you've worked for. And so I wonder if this person is so used to, again, I think they're like very driven. I think they're used to like, oh, I work. But they're seeing you and they're like, wow, it's a busy time at work, but like you're still taking, you know, a hike this weekend or a walk on the beach. Like you're doing something for you. And I think that is just so different to how they approach the world. And so that is something that really catches their attention. Because they haven't met someone who's able to like have fun throughout like everything that life has to offer. Again, it makes me wonder, like, have they gone through like a ton of school and school was just like really hard for them. But you also like, you did go to parties or you did still take trips, right? Whereas they were like studying all the time, kind of a thing. I'm thinking this Eight of Swords is just kind of knowing your own limits and knowing when, hey, something is kind of up to the universe. But let's pull a clarifying card for that. Okay, yeah. So we got Temperance. So this card is all about balance. And so I think that's what it is. So I think something they admire about you is knowing like when you've kind of done all that you can do for something or for someone, and knowing when it's like, no, it's like the universe's turn or this other person's turn to do something. Like you can't lead a horse to water kind of a thing. Or like you could throw in a job application, but like once you've applied, there's nothing you can do, right? Either like you get the interview or you don't get the interview. So you understand that life is a balance and you don't have full control over everything. And again, I think this is just very different for them, who I think they're kind of like uptight too. And that's not a bad thing, but I think they're uptight and they see that you are living this more balanced life. And that's very shocking to them and something that they want more of, which is why they are attracted to you. Awesome. Okay, so next we are at the context in which you two meet. So what is the context in which pile 1 meets this person? Again, if you're already partnered, this could be confirmation. Also keep in mind, this is a group reading, so take what resonates, don't take what doesn't. But if you're single, this could provide some context into how you are going to meet this person. Also, if you're enjoying the video, if you would give it a like and subscribe if you haven't. Last week I did a reading on all about your person and their personality. So again, if you're single, that can provide some insight into who you're going to end up with. Okay, but back to this. What is the context in which you meet or have already met? Again, take what resonates. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so off the bat, we talked about how like community oriented you are, family oriented. It's possible you meet this person at a celebration for someone else. So someone else's wedding, a quinceañera, a graduation, a housewarming party, first communion, baptism, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah. But something that's like a celebration, a milestone for somebody else, that is potentially where you meet this person. This could also have been a celebration for you. Maybe you graduate, you got a new job, throwing a party of some sort, and like someone brings them to this party. So I think that is definitely, that's a potential for where you meet this person, is like through someone else, through your connections, but at some sort of celebratory event, celebrating like the next stage or phase in their life, or your life again, if it's like a graduation party for you. Two of Cups, I do think you guys hit it off right away and notice that you are complementary to one another. When I think Two of Cups, I think, wow, and by the way, that was the card for this pile. So Two of Cups energy is strong. I think you guys are going to feel really well matched. Like, I think they immediately respect you, you immediately respect them. Clearly, you guys have different strengths and weaknesses, right? We've gone through that. You approach things differently, which is good, right? It complements one another and it's helpful to one another. And so I think right away you're intrigued by like, I actually feel like we're on the same playing field, we're on the same level, especially if that's something that you have struggled with in the past, is like finding someone that you actually feel that either you relate to, you feel like you're on the same page with, whether it's like lived experiences, life experience, where you're at in your career, where you're at in your education. I think with this person, you're going to kind of immediately feel like, oh, I feel really evenly matched with them. I kind of wonder if there is an elderly like woman who somehow makes this happen or puts you two in each other's lives. Again, this could be like, I don't know, great grandma's birthday party and your cousin invites their friend or something, and like that's the context in which you meet them. But I wonder if there is, I don't know, or maybe someone in your life like suggests that you go to this event. Maybe you weren't planning on going to it, but then they're like, you should go. But I think there's gonna be like an older woman's influence somehow in this context of which you meet. I don't really think this is like a dating app situation, but if it is, then perhaps someone in your life like suggested you actually get on the dating apps. It could be you met on the dating apps and then pretty soon after you actually do meet some of their family or friends or community. Could be something like that. Again, take what resonates. With the Page of Cups here, again, we have more of this, right? This page, wow, you've gotten 3 pages during this. So again, this like childlike energy, this childlike approach to things. With Page of Cups, we can think about just this childlike enthusiasm to trying new things, not really caring what other people think of you. And so I kind of do wonder, like, at this event or celebration, were you just like dancing like no one's watching? And maybe that's something that like caught their eye, caught their attention, right? We had the Judgment card here with the dancing, you know, to the beat of your own drum. Like, life can be fun. And so I wonder if at this event you're just like letting loose, you're being your true self. Maybe you're wearing something kind of funky. Maybe you're wearing a sweater that you made. Maybe you're trying some like bright makeup because you're like, why not? Maybe you're wearing glitter. I don't know. But I think there's something about just like kind of being your true self, but also something that's gonna make like a child smile. With the page here as well, this could indicate that maybe this event is focused on children. Again, maybe it's like a bat mitzvah, bar mitzvah, quinceañera, a 8th grade graduation, I don't know, child's first birthday party. Could indicate something like that in terms of the context. It's possible your person is the one giving off Page of Cups energy, but just based off of kind of what we learned about them versus you, I would bet money that it's you giving off this Page of Cups energy. Yeah. Okay, I kind of want to know, so this is the context in which you meet, and I do feel like right away you're going to know that you guys fit together and you feel evenly teamed. I just kind of want to see if there's any more cards about like what you're going to feel. Okay. I don't love that all of these just popped out. Let's take this one and we'll pull one more. Okay. So in terms of how you're gonna feel when you guys meet, hold on. I want to move some of these out of the way. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Swords, and this is spelled wrong. The 6 of Wands, as well as the 8 of Wands. So, again, we see a celebration here. I think that is the context in which you meet. I think you're going to feel really curious about this person, because in the same way that you approach the world differently, which is what catches their attention, I kind of wonder if that's what catches your attention about them as well. Like, they just have, I just think you're gonna be like really curious about, like, when you're talking, you're like, huh, That's interesting. I have not heard of something being approached that way before. I think there's going to be a curiosity essentially when you are talking with them. Again, I think it's going to be at a celebration, and I think other people as well might be like, oh my god, I can't believe we haven't set you two up before. Like, I think it might be something like that. Like, after they see you two together, it's like, oh my god, that was obvious. Like, why have we not thought to make this connection before? Which is why I am really leaning towards you meet them in the wild at some event through a friend of a friend, through a family member, through a community member. I'm really leaning towards that. Again, take what resonates. Or it could simply be like, once you, maybe early on, you go to some family or community event and people are able to see right away, yeah, you guys are evenly matched. I'm so glad you found each other. It could be that as well. With the Queen of Swords, what's interesting is she takes a very balanced approach to things. So she's looking at logic as well as emotion. She's not being ruled by one or the other. She's also taking other people's thoughts into consideration. So there's a couple of things potentially that could be here. It's possible you're really intrigued by them, but maybe you're not physically attracted immediately, but you're like, you know what? I'm not like head over heels, oh my god, I'm in love with them, but also that's a good thing. Like, I'm interested, I'm intrigued, we seem evenly matched. Like, that's enough for me to take this next step and like get their number, add them on socials, go on a date, whatever it might be. So it's possible it's that maybe you're like, I wouldn't normally go for this type, but like everything he has shown me, I am interested, I'm intrigued, and so you follow that. We've had also 3 queen cards here, which is really, really interesting. So again, that makes me wonder if there is some mature, older woman in your life who is giving her thoughts and feedback on this. Or maybe you're even channeling if there's something like your grandma, your mom, or an aunt has said to you, like words of advice they've given to you. I wonder if something your person says like reminded you of that and was a confirmation of like, I've heard this before. Maybe that's like my little sign to myself that this is something to pursue. Yeah, so I think there is definitely a curiosity. I think other people are going to see as well, like, oh my god, that's such a good match. And for some reason, you're not driven by emotions. You're also going through logic, which, again, the only thing coming to mind is that, like, I think you might not be head over heels attracted at first, but it's possible that even as the event goes on, you talk to them more and more, you are attracted to them more. I believe that attraction can grow, but I also think that something cannot grow from nothing. So I don't think it's that you're like, ew. I just think you maybe went into this conversation not intending on it leading to like a romantic connection. And then you're like, wait, this is like actually everything I've been asking for. Let me see if there's a potential for a romantic connection. Wow, this is really great. Okay, so now I want to say we're on our last question. Anything else we need to know about this connection? So I'm going to pull some oracle cards. Star Keeper, Cosmic Ancestor, Seed the Light by staying grounded. Let's also get that bottom of the deck energy. Portal, doors are opening, you decide. Oh, there you go. Rewards and wild card. And let's pull one more from this, then we'll pull an animal oracle. Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Okay, oh. And then the spirit of the animal. Okay, well, this just fell out. Wolf Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. Okay, if you're literally a teacher, let me know. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Okay, so a couple times here we've got this idea of like a new journey, doors are opening, anything unaligned must go. So I wonder if you're in a period of transition when you meet this person. So potentially you are like changing jobs, moving, graduating. Yeah, I think it's something kind of like major like that. Could even be something like starting a business, starting a YouTube channel, starting an Etsy. But it's something that like definitely there's something new that is occurring. And you're figuring out like, okay, in my next chapter, what am I keeping and what am I letting go? Interestingly, this is talking about staying grounded. So I kind of wonder, since we've had so many queens in this, if this is also saying like, stay grounded by not listening to what people say like online, but like trust your family, trust the people that like you already trust, as well as your intuition. At the beginning, I think we covered that like I do feel like you're probably a mysterious person. But I do wonder if like there is some online business venture you're thinking about taking. And if that's the case, this is just encouraging you to stay grounded in that and to not just listen to what other people on the internet are saying. So that's a potential of like what is going on with you. If we're thinking like connection specific, I wonder if there are either old patterns you have when it comes to relationships that you need to let go of, or potentially if you are someone who's like, this is my type and I want someone with this career and this hair color and this eye color and a 5-year plan that includes X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's time to let go of that and just be open to new things, right? That says doors are opening, questioning everything, release your past and start a new journey. So if you felt kind of bogged down, or maybe it's been hard to find people because of these requirements that you want. And that's not to say that you have to let go of like, I want them to be employed, I want them to be able to hold a conversation. Not those things, but if you're like, I want them to be able to lift 150 pounds, which I don't even know if that's a lot or a little, but you know, maybe things like that. Reassess. For a long time, I said I don't want anyone that plays an instrument. And for good reason. I have chronic migraine. I don't want to hear music in my house. But at the same time, like, if someone plays an instrument, is that really reason to not go on a date with someone? So maybe there's like little things like that that you need to let go of. Also, if you do have people from your past who either still follow you on social media, or you have their phone number, or they reach out to you from time to time, I think it's time to cut that off as well, right? Anything unaligned must go. Cut them off, release your past. I think we need to not keep tethers to the past. So if that resonates, then please go do that. And yeah, staying grounded, I think not listening, listening only to the people you trust about your relationship. Taking other people's words with a grain of salt, right? If you date someone, again, using my instrument example, who plays an instrument and you've always been dead set against it, if you've got a friend who's like keeps wanting you to break up because he plays an instrument, even though everything you said about him is like wonderful, then let's not take that advice, right? So know whose advice to take versus not. Like, take things with a grain of salt. But I think this is going to be different than who you've gone for in the past, but like in the best way. And same with them as well. I think you approach life so differently that this is going to be a brand new experience for them. All right, pile one. So this was your reading on why they're attracted to you. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave in the comments anything that resonates. Also subscribe to see more of my content. Again, if you are single, then last week I did a reading about everything about your person, right? Their personality, what you like about them, what annoys them about you. So you might be interested in that video next. Alrighty, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile two. If you chose the Four of Wands as your card, then this is your pile. Now, if you didn't choose it intuitively and rather you had me choose which star signs or sun signs are assigned to this, then you are a Taurus, Aries, Capricorn, or Cancer. If this is not your sign, that's okay. If you chose this card intuitively, this is still the pile for you. That is just for people who don't like making a decision about what pile they're going to be in. So today we are going to learn all about why your person is attracted to you. We're going to start with an energy check and get your personality. We're going to talk about what they admire about you, what you help them with, what about you caught their attention, what is the context in which you meet. In pile one, we also looked at like the mindset that you were in when you met them. And then we'll pull some oracle cards for anything else we need to know about this connection. But first, let's look and see, energy check, what your personality is. So we've got the Empress, Queen of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and Death. Okay. Off the bat, I think you're a mature, grounded person. I think you are someone who is in control of your life. You've built a foundation for yourself, which we can see with the Ten of Pentacles. I think you have some sort of status in your life. So this could be something like maybe you are a homeowner. Maybe you have a successful job or career. Maybe you have your own business, you're an entrepreneur, you have some sort of social media status or like internet business of some sort. But I think you're someone that people look up to in some way. Could also be something like a teacher, right? You've got your students looking up to you. And I also wonder if you're like pouring back into others. So if you're, a teacher, right, you're pouring into your students. If you have some sort of leadership position at your work, maybe you're like a mentor to someone. If you're nursing, maybe you precept the nursing students. But I think you're someone who has high status, like in their job, but then also just like in your life. Like I think you're financially stable. I think you've provided for yourself. Like you've done a really good job in making sure you've got a roof over your head, you've got savings, like your life is on, the right track. So I'm just getting very like mature, solid energy from you. With the Empress, we have someone who is intuitive. They know how to attract things. They know like when to wait and when to let things come to them. So this could be job opportunities or promotion opportunities. With the Empress, like she's in this garden, right? So it can also be understanding like, hey, I'm gonna garden, I'm gonna plant my seeds, I'm gonna water them, but also like it's up to them to grow. And so I think there's also that of knowing like I'm gonna do my part, but also like the universe is equally going to do their part. So I also wonder if you're someone who is not really stressed about things working out because you know that things are going to work out. I don't know if anyone has ever called you like, oh, you're lucky, or things always work out for you. Maybe, you're like looking for a house and you like weren't really stressed about it, and then you find one and it really was like the perfect house for you. And people are like kind of jealous about that. But I think you definitely attract energy. Also interesting, we've got 3 here, 10, and then 13. So I don't know if 13 is a relevant number to you. Is this Taylor Swift watching? I'm just kidding. 13 could be relevant to you. It doesn't have to be, but I do find that interesting here. With the Death card, this really just means that, like, as one door closes, another door opens, not being afraid to enter into the next chapter of things, knowing that the ending is the same as like a new beginning. And so again, I think you're very mature in how you approach things. I think you're someone who's not really stressed when things are ending, because you're like, yeah, this is ending, but it's to make room for like the next thing that is meant for me and my life. So yeah, I'm getting just a very calm energy, a very steady energy, a stable energy from you. That's not to say you're always calm, right? Queen of Wands, that's fire. Like, you could get fiery. But I think you're like, okay, I'm not gonna quite say like go with the flow, because I don't think you're like, I think it's hard to get to where you've been at if you're simply just like going with the flow on everything. But I think you're like, I know what I've done, I know what I'm doing, I'm putting in the work, and like, I know things are going to work out for me. So if that sounds like you, then this reading is for you. If this is like the opposite of you, then I would say choose a different pile. I see my battery's dying, so I'm gonna change this real quick and then I will be right back. Hello. Okay, so we have got your personality. Next we're gonna see what your person admires about you, pile 2. So what does pile 2's person admire about them? Bottom of the deck. Okay. So we have Ace of Wands, 3 of Wands, the Fool, and 10 of Cups. Okay. So I think you're someone who is, I think you're inspired and motivated to take action, and then you do take action. I think there's a good mix of like, I'm inspired and I'm gonna plan somewhat this thing. I'm gonna be strategic about it, but also like, I'm gonna trust that whatever I don't have planned is going to work out for me. You might also travel a lot or take trips. So maybe it's, you know, you're inspired to go somewhere and you actually make it happen. A lot of people say they want to travel. Very few people do actually travel. So this could be, again, you find a place, you make your travel plans, maybe you partially plan it, but then you're also like, hey, whatever I see, whatever I'm drawn to, I'm gonna go do that in this new place as well. So I think that's a very big part of your energy. Something they admire about you, well, 10 of Cups, I think you do pour into your relationships. Like, even though you have such a successful life and you mentor others potentially, you have a stable foundation, you have worked hard for what you have not neglected your relationships along the way. So this could be familial ties, this could be community ties, colleagues, friends, you know, chosen family. But along with having your own success, it's not like you've blocked everyone else out during this. You have maintained those relationships. Or at least you have them now. Look, I get it if you were like in college or grad school or like first job, like it can be hard to focus on other things. But I think where you're at now, or at least when your person like knows you, you have a very fulfilling social life. And relationally, again, like you're set. Again, we have a 10 and a 3. So, I don't know. Again, 13 can be really big. We have March. We could have October. March 10th or October 3rd. Those could be significant dates for you. But yeah, again, we've got some more wand energy, so it's possible you're a fire sign. You don't have to be. but you've at least got some of that fire energy of like, I'm curious about this thing and so I'm gonna pursue it. But what makes you different, I think, is that you're not just like, oh, I'm curious about this thing and I'm gonna maybe talk about it a little bit, but like not take any more steps. I think you do go the next step and you research it or you plan it. Again, if it's something like a trip, I think you actually like plan the trip and take the trip. If you're like, oh, I want to write a book, I think you actually then take that next step and you're like, I'm going to read books on how to write books and I'm going to actually write a book and I'm going to get into writing. Again, taking that next step. Or, oh, a painting class sounds fun. So I'm going to actually find a painting class in my community, sign up for it, and attend it. So I think that's something that makes you different is so many people say, I want to do this, I want to do that, blah, 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 but they never actually seek it out or do the thing. And I think you seek it out and do the thing. So I think these are things that your person really admires about you. They're able to make a plan and take action. You're able to be motivated about something and then you actually do it. Back to that idea, if you are someone who maybe has like an online business or a regular business, by the way, or maybe like a social media presence, some other creative endeavor. Again, it's like so many people can say like, I want to do social media. It's easy to do social media. Like this is what I would do. But so few people actually like make the account, plan content, post the content. Again, take what resonates. But I think they really admire that you have an idea and then can act on it. Amazing. Okay, so next we're going to see what you help your person with. What does pile 2 help their person with? What does pile 2 help their person with? Okay, I'm gonna take that one of the deck and this one, since it was sticky, I wanted to stay on the table. So we've got Hanged Man, 6 of Cups, the Hermit, 6 of Swords, and the Sun. Okay, interesting. We've got a couple of 6s here and then a couple of cards that kind of mean be patient and it's okay to like be by yourself. 6 and 6 is 12. 9, 19. Okay. So what do you help them with? I think you help them pause. I'm going to put these two next to each other. With the Hanged Man as well as the Hermit, I think you help them pause. I think you help them with patience, but with also, you know, you act on things. You also, there's a bit of planning there, right? With the 3 of Wands. You don't just like, it's not like Ace of Swords energy where it's like, I'm going to act without a plan. It's like you do put in planning and that has made you very successful. And so I wonder if your person is more of that Ace of Swords energy where they're like, I'm going to act and like, it'll work out. And you're like, well, okay, like sit on this for a minute. See if this is something you actually want to do. If so, let's plan it out. Let's manifest. Let's be strategic about this. So yeah, not having to make decisions immediately, being patient, sitting with it, seeing if it's something that they actually want versus what the world tells them they should want. I think that's something you help them out with. And with your energy, again, you're like, again, you're stable, you're mature. I wonder if you've been in a hermit energy of like, you've been alone for a while. And so you've had to build your life. And so I think you're really good at making decisions for yourself, making the best decision, looking at different perspectives and figuring out what you want versus what other people might want. So that's definitely something you help them with. We're going to skip over to the Sun real quick. So the Sun is all about being your, truest, authentic self. And so I think you make them feel like they can be open, be who they truly are, be genuine. They can be nerdy, they can be goofy, they can be silly, they can be strong, they can be weak around you. And maybe you're also helping them realize they can be this around other people as well. But I think, you've got the 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. I think you've got a warm energy. I also, again, think there's something about like you being nurturing. And so I think you are also nurturing to your person, and they really feel that and feel like, wow, someone likes me for who I am and is celebrating that. And that makes them more confident as they are moving through their life as well. That's so sweet. Okay, 6 of Cups as well as 6 of Swords. I think you help them with being curious in life, right? You've got this Ace of Wands energy where you do get motivated by things. You are curious about the world. And I think you help them see that as well. Like, you don't have to, yes, you can be going down a path, but just because you're going down a path does not mean you can't look at anything else along the way. You can go down a path and you can get distracted and take a side quest. And that could be as small as, hey, I know this is usually, Friday nights we do pizza, but hey, there's this new Thai restaurant. Do you want to try it? Right? It could be as simple as that, like changing the routine. It could be bigger, like, okay, I know we've been working towards, this specific promotion, this specific job, but you have an opportunity to move abroad for a year. Like, I know that wasn't on the plan, but like, that's still an interesting opportunity. And if you're intrigued by it and curious about it, we can pursue that. We can see where this goes. 6 of Cups can also be about looking at things from a different perspective, from like a childlike perspective as well. And so again, I wonder if perhaps maybe with certain things they are looking at, logistics. Is this on plan? And you're like, okay, but like, is this going to be fun? Is this going to feed your soul? Are you going to actually enjoy this job? Or, okay, I know that this house is available and you've always said you wanted, a 2-story house with a white picket fence, but like, are you actually going to enjoy living there? Like, you seem so much more joyful when we're in this part of town versus this part of town. So I think you're going to remind them that side quests are okay. And you're going to teach them how to also look at things with this like air of curiosity or this new perspective. So you're going to help them with a lot of things, actually. You're going to prevent them from like making decisions too quickly that like don't really make sense for them. You're going to help them feel that like they are wonderful just as they are. And then also see things from a perspective of like, okay, we can look at things differently. We are allowed to focus on fun, right? We're successful. Like, I think you're going into this partnership being like, hey, at least you're very successful. So I'm assuming you're going with someone who has also, got their life together. Like, we can also have fun in life. We've worked really hard. We don't have to keep taking the hardest jobs with the longest hours to get somewhere, to get promoted. Like, we're actually at a good spot as we are now. So why don't we now focus on quality of life versus continuing to try to climb that ladder? Because we're already pretty high on that. So yeah, I think you're helping them with quite a few things. Okay, so next we're gonna see what about you caught their attention. So what about pile 2 caught their person's attention? What about pile 2 caught their person's attention? 9 of Pentacles, the Tower, Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Okay. I think, again, you're someone who is like mature. I think you are someone who has a good work-life balance. Like, you've clearly worked very hard for where you have gotten. but you're also someone who's like, yeah, when I'm off of work, I'm not going to think about work. Like, I'm going to enjoy my life. Or, yeah, I have PTO, so I'm going to take PTO. I don't have to kill myself for this company or this organization. I'm also going to enjoy my life. I think you're also someone who doesn't abide by, you're not someone who I think is like driven by society's expectations of you. So again, earlier I was getting the vibe like, if you are a woman, maybe you're a woman who like bought a house by herself, right? Or you travel a bunch. And again, that's something that a lot of people say they want to do, but so very few people actually do it. And so I think that's something they admire about you, is you don't actually like, you're not the, I don't even want to say stereotypical, because I feel like there are so many like single people who like live fulfilling lives. But I think when they met you, they just were impressed that you were talking about your life experiences and your interests, and the life that you have built for yourself, that again maybe goes against what like family expectations might be, or even like, 20 years ago what the expectation was of young people, like get married, settle down, have babies, like at 21 or earlier. And I think you're like, nope, I travel alone. I've had all these different jobs, I've moved all these different places. Again, whatever it is that you've done that's like built this successful life. Again, maybe you're constantly kind of doing side quests as well. I also wonder if you have some random thing that's like, oh yeah, I've hiked the Appalachian Trail. Or like, oh yeah, I've done Half Dome. Oh yeah, I was an influencer for a while. Oh yeah, I studied cooking in Paris. Like what? Like I kind of feel like you've done some like random side quest somewhere in there. So I think that really caught their attention. Like, wow, you're really successful, but you also have balance, but you're also like fun, by the way, in the way that you have success and express your success. We're gonna skip over the Queen of Pentacles for a minute. Five of Cups, what caught their attention? I don't know how they would know this about you, but I think that even though you've had a successful adult life, that does not mean that everything has always been smooth sailing. And I think you're mature in the way that you handle your emotions. Like you're like, yeah, I didn't get the job I really wanted. I'm gonna cry about it and I'm gonna wallow for a bit. That's not going to then dictate your entire next month, but like you allow yourself to be bummed out. I don't know how they would know this about you. I'm almost wondering if like an older woman in one of your guys' lives like told you about one another. Like not quite like a matchmaking setting, but kind of like a setup kind of setting. I wonder if, again, he, she, they learned about you from an older person or mentor who knows both of you. Maybe you're going through a hard time. Five of Cups is also the cup of grief. So you could have lost someone in your family or friends, a pet. This could also be like losing a job. So this is the card of grief as well. So maybe you're handling grieving well, which there's no, as my therapist says, there's not a right or wrong way to grieve as long as you are not harming yourself or others. You are doing it. You're doing it right. Grieving is tough, but somehow they're aware that you've experienced a disappointment, if not a loss, recently. And they're impressed with how you're handling it. Like, I almost wonder if maybe you like lost a job and you're like, fine, I'm gonna do what I've always wanted to do, and I'm gonna like move abroad and like start this, like, I don't know, jump fields. Like, I think maybe you take something that was negative and turn it into, yeah, my world is rocked, my foundation is rocked, but like, watch me and how I make this turn out like for my greatest good. I'm curious to know how this resonates with you, but I think that's definitely something that caught their attention. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the context in which you guys meet or have met. We'll look at like, we'll see what comes up with the cards. Like, is this more physical context or like kind of mental state that you were in? So this can serve as like confirmation, or if you haven't met this person yet, it can give you some insight. Again, take what resonates with you on this. I'm a random person on YouTube, so let's not make any major life decisions based off what this reading says. Okay. So the context in which you meet, okay, I do kind of think the context is like you did experience a loss of some sort, and it's possible that it's not that you were like fired from a job or let go. You might have actually like left this job in order to get back that balance in your life. Yeah, I wonder if something was not serving you. You just knew it was time to like walk away from something. Again, to restore better balance. So maybe it was a job that was like overworking you, or you were like, you know what? I have enough money. I don't need the job that gives me the most money. I need the job that gives me time off and like a balanced life. Like, yes, I still need some money, but there are some things that are more important to me now because I have built this stable foundation. The context in which you meet, I wonder if it's pretty fast where you two like met and started dating. Like it could be that the first time you meet was a date, right? So maybe you were set up on like a blind date or something. With the Eight of Swords, interesting. This card is usually, the last group got this as well. But this is usually kind of feeling like you have no control over a situation, even if you do. So again, you've got double eights here. Double eight, 16. 8 times 2 is 16. Maybe you are feeling a little bit lost after this. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe when they meet you, this thing just happened, this thing that you're grieving, this thing that you lost, and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? But maybe soon after is when you're like, here's how I'm gonna turn it into my favor, right? This quickness right here, like you're not sitting in this for long. And that like, again, catches their attention. They meet you like during this period of transition. So it could be that you very quickly kind of went through this, like, I'm really disappointed about this. What am I gonna do? Hey, don't worry, I like figured it out already. So I'm curious, is there anything like that going on in your life right now? I do want to pull a few cards about like your mindset or like emotions when you meet this person. Again, this could be confirmation if you've already met them. Or if you haven't met them yet. Okay. Fascinating. Earlier I was talking about how you're not really giving Ace of Swords energy, because you do plan, right? It's more of that like Three of Wands, like I'm gonna make a plan, I'm gonna like see what steps I need to take. But I think in this, because you're going through this period of transition, right? You just lost something and you're like, shoot, I gotta figure out like what my next step is. I kind of think you are intuitively guided to kind of act before thinking. So I don't think that's maybe your like typical, but you're like, I have this idea, again, for example, now that I'm not tethered down to this job, I really want to move abroad. Like, I'm gonna see how that can happen. Yeah, Ten of Swords here. You've got so many cards about something ending. The Eight of Cups, Five of Cups, and Ten of Swords. Ten of Cups indicates like this wasn't a planned ending. I wonder if this could be in a relational context. Like if you meet them when you just had to leave a relationship that you thought was the one, that you thought was your happily ever after. And so it's this mix of like you feel betrayed, but also like you had to walk away for your greater good. And maybe that's why you feel kind of helpless when you meet them, is you're like, what the heck? I kind of have no say over like my love life, right? Like that's not something you really have control over. You have control over your stability, your foundation, but you don't really have control over like someone walking into your life that is a good match for you. And so I wonder if it's actually very quickly after this occurs that your person, this person, enters your life. And intuitively you're drawn to them, you're kind of curious about it, even if maybe it doesn't make sense. Like this could even be something like someone's visiting from out of town and you happen to meet them and you're like, okay, I'm really curious about them, but like logistically, how would we make this work? But you're like, I don't really care, I'm gonna follow my intuition, I'm curious about them. But yeah, you're really, I think when you meet them, it's at a time where you're dealing with something else. Something ended. I don't know if it's a relationship, a job opportunity. Something ended that like you weren't expecting, but also you know, like, I just think you're a person with confidence and you're like, I'm so hurt by that. I'm not taking this person back. But now I also kind of feel helpless in my love life. But then this person swoops in like a knight in shining armor and you're drawn to them for some reason. You want to see like where this goes. Interesting. Huh. Okay, so that's the context in which you're meeting this person. So next, anything else we need to know about this connection? We're gonna pull a few oracle cards. How many fell out here? 3? Okay, that's good. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. The courage peony, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. We're also going to pull a spirit animal. Heron, patience. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring your rewards. Okay, so I based off of a couple of these. So again, those like that 5 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 10 of Swords, 8 of Swords. yeah, we've literally got rock bottom here. So I think you're meeting them. I think you're meeting them at not such a great time for you. And these cards are saying, like, even if you're feeling quite Eight of Swords right now, I'm so sorry, pile 2. Memory card ran out again, so hopefully we don't have any more of those problems. But I think you are going to be in like rock bottom when you meet this person. I think you're going to have just experienced a loss of some sort. Again, could be relationship, could be job. And so you're feeling like really not in control, especially of your love life. But multiple of these are saying, be patient, find balance, let yourself be seen, right? Like, don't hide away, still go out and do things. And then this card is, it's a card of encouragement. It's actually come up in several readings I've done recently. And this card is basically a hug from the universe. It's saying you are so loved. You have spirit guides who are guiding you, who are protecting you, who are ensuring that everything is working out for your favor. So if you needed some encouragement, that card is it. Yeah, patience will bring you rewards. So I think this person is coming into your life during a not so great time for you, but then you are going to have this wonderful relationship. This person who is super attracted to you, who you help them with so much with as well. Yeah, I'm sorry if you're going through something. I hope it's not terrible. But life has its ups and downs, right? And I think, again, your personality, you know, when one door closes, it leads to another door opening. So you're gonna be okay. You're gonna find your person at the end of it. If you've already found your person, let us know how this resonates down in the comments below. What were you going through at the time when you did meet them? Did you find that being patient, you know, really led to them? Okay, pile 2, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Give it a thumbs up if you did, comment below how it resonates, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the 10 of Pentacles, then this is your reading. If you did not choose intuitively and you instead asked the universe to show you which pile to choose, then you are Scorpio, Libra, Gemini, or Sagittarius. If you are not one of these signs, that is totally fine. There's multiple ways to pick piles. So you were either drawn intuitively or you waited and went to the one you were assigned to. So today we are going to ask why a person is attracted to you. So this is for people who are coupled, are dating, have a crush, or are single and don't have anyone in particular in mind. Then this is going to let you know why your future person is attracted to you. So first up, we are going to do an energy check and see what your personality is. So if this does not resonate, then choose another pile. We've got the World, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, Two of Cups, and Two of Wands. Okay. Interestingly, that's not a word. Interesting is what I was going to say. So first off with the World, with the World as well as the Two of Wands, I think you are someone who is intuitive, trusts the universe, looks to the universe for guidance. I think you also like to celebrate things. You could even recently have gone through some sort of celebration, like a graduation, getting a new job, moving, buying a house, something like that. But I think, again, you're also I think you're open to like where the wind is taking you. I think that might stress you out sometimes, but I think you've maybe come to realize you can't plan everything. Like you can have a plan, you can try that Two of Wands energy, but at the end of the day, like what's gonna happen will happen. I kind of wonder if you're a little mouthy. Like, are you kind of petty? Do you fight back? Do you make quips? Are you sarcastic? Maybe you also just like really love banter. But I think there's an interesting dichotomy to you where like sometimes you really are trying to plan ahead, think about the future, but sometimes your actions don't align with that. Sometimes you just act without a plan. But yeah, I think you have very active energy. So take that how it resonates. It could be something like your schedule is literally like busy, like you are active in that way. It could be you always have a lot on your mind. It could be you have like heightened emotions. But I think there is like a busyness, activeness to you. I think what you're looking for is someone, I think Two of Cups have come up in every reading, which is interesting since it is just like a love card about partners who are equally paired. And so I think that is something you very much desire in a partner, is you're like, I want to feel like equals with them. I don't want to be completely taking care of them. They shouldn't have to completely take care of me. Like we should be complementary in our strengths and our weaknesses. So I think that is ultimately your goal, especially when it comes to relationships. Like you never want to feel like you're taking advantage of someone. You also don't want, like you're not going to let someone take advantage of you. Potentially you also like to travel as well. That could also be with the Two of Wands. But yeah, I think it's mainly like you trust the universe, but sometimes you take your own action, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, right? I think you've learned a lot of life lessons throughout the years. So yeah, I think you're this dichotomy of like, yeah, I trust, but I'm also gonna act. Yeah, I plan, but sometimes I do things without thinking them through. But ultimately you know that like things are gonna work out. And you hope it's that you're finding your perfect match. So if that sounds like you, then this reading is for you. If it does not sound like you, then I would check a different pile. Okay, so now let's get into what your person admires about you. Right, so we're looking up why they're attracted to you. So what, oh, one just flipped, but I didn't see which one it was. What do they admire about you? We'll take the bottom of the deck as well. Three of Cups, Temperance, Five of Swords, and Six of Cups. Okay, so I do think, again, back to this idea of being mouthy, I think you're sarcastic. I think you like to play devil's advocate. You could be an air sign or have like Gemini placements. Like I think you really like to talk. I think you like to talk. I think you like to, again, banter. I kind of feel like you're maybe someone who can like do a bit or like riff with one another. Like when you have that energy where y'all are just like bouncing off one another and then kind of creating your own little story and having really fun with it. So I definitely think that is part of your personality and something that is very attractive to them. You also appear to be very balanced. So kind of back here, I was saying you are this like, you plan, but you also take action, right? Like, you know things are gonna work out, but sometimes you take action because you're a little impatient. But I think overall you do take a balanced approach to life. In this temperance card here, we see she's got cupcakes and carrots. She's got books and a laptop, right? So things that are maybe healthy and enriching, and other things that are healthy and enriching for us in a different way. But I think you're balanced. And this could be with so many things. It could be with habits. It can be how you approach work-life balance. It can be how you decide if you're going to, how many favors are you going to do for someone versus when is it time either for you to ask for help or like when do you need to say no. But they definitely see you as being someone who takes a balanced approach to life. With the Three of Cups here, I think you must have either a core group of friends, or maybe you're really close with your family members, maybe your siblings. And I think that's something they admire about you as well. Like, you get along with others, and I think you do have a close, tight-knit group of some sort. Again, it could be like a family group chat or a core group of friends, or even colleagues that have now like turned into friends. And so that is something that they really admire about you as well. And that can even be going back to that balanced approach to life, as it's like, yeah, you do have these really close relationships, but you also take care of yourself. I also wonder, you could be like softer with your friends, but I also have the feeling you're like three peas in a pod, and you are sarcastic, banter, witty, like all the things, riff off of one another. For the Six of Cups, so what they admire about you, I think you're able to look at things from different perspectives and from more fun perspectives sometimes, right? The Six of Cups, we have a child here. And yeah, I think sometimes either you don't take life too seriously. Like sometimes there's a circumstance and you're like, guys, I don't need to be uptight about this right now, you know? And you're just not stressed about it. I think you're looking for the light in situations. That's not to say you don't get upset sometimes. I think you definitely do. But other times you're like, it's really not that serious. Cool. This is a very different reading than pile 1 versus pile 2. But yeah, I think they really love your personality. They admire the relationships you have in life, the way you approach your own life, and then also help others see things differently in a more either innocent light, like thinking the best of someone, or in just like a fun way. Like, life doesn't have to be so serious all of the time. Okay, so next we're gonna see, what do you help them with? Ooh, I think this one was trying to come out. What do you help them with? This group 3, okay. Okay. I think you help them to be curious about the world, kind of back to that Six of Cups, is like seeing things from this different perspective. Ace of Wands as well is following your intuition. What is piquing your curiosity? What are you motivated to? What ideas do you have? Is there anything creative that, you know, you want to pursue? Anything creative or just like different, you know? So I think you help them, I think again, you help broaden their mind and help them be able to see that, like, hey, there is more to life than like going to work and coming home and eating dinner and falling asleep, kind of a thing. Or it could be they're so in their routines, right? Maybe they do more than just go to work, come home, go to sleep. But you're like, hey, there's all these other like activities and life experiences that like we can have. So I think that's something you help them out with. And then with like the Fool as well, not being afraid to like let go yeah, I really think there's this energy with you. Again, just like trusting the world, not taking life like, again, I think sometimes you do take it too seriously, but then there's other times where you are able to like not and just like have fun with it. And so I think you're showing your person how to do that as well, and just like trust that things are going to work out. Or sometimes there's no one right decision for something, right? Like if your person is someone who gets stressed out over, oh my God, what coffee shop should we go to? There's not like a right or wrong decision with that. Or even what trip should we take? There's not like a right one versus a wrong one. It's just like, what do you want to do? You know, like it's going to be fine. What's piquing your curiosity? Like go with that. So I think that is definitely something that you help them with. With the Six of Pentacles, we also see this like a give and take, knowing when you've received and can like give and help others versus also when you need to say no. So some of this balance that you have in this Temperance card, I think you are also teaching them as well. I don't know if maybe there's someone who, if people are asking them like for money or to borrow money or like their time for things, and I think you're teaching them that it is okay to say no, but also there are times where it is great to give back, right? But it is at the end of the day a balance. You can't fully pour your cup into someone else and have nothing left for you. But there is a way to be balanced in both that just makes you feel, does make you feel like your cup is overflowing. And we don't have to be selfish in order to have an overflowing cup. We can still give back. With the King of Swords, I think you're helping them also be confident in their decision making. Yeah, I think being confident, because with King of Swords, it's also looking at things logically versus emotionally, but then also like following through and acting on it. So I think you're just like a little confidence boost to them as well. I think just believing in them, encouraging them, is giving them this confidence to make decisions, execute those decisions, and move forward with it. Maybe this is as simple as back to like, there's no right or wrong decision for which coffee shop you go to. It's like, what kind of coffee do you want? Or like, where in town do you want to go to? Like, there's literally no right or wrong. So perhaps it's as simple as that, of making them more confident in that. But I could also see this carrying over to different facets of their life, like because they are more confident in kind of their daily decisions, they're more confident now at work, in their relationships, in their community, in any kind of leadership roles they may or may not have. I think your encouragement is helping them feel confident in that. That's great. Okay, so now I want to see, yeah, you're not gonna see all those, that's okay. What about you caught their attention? We know why they admire you and why they're attracted to you now, or again, if this is in the future, like once you're in a relationship, like why they're attracted to you. But I want to know from the beginning, like what about you, pile 3, caught their attention? We'll pull clarifying cards if we need to as well. Okay, Death, the Moon, 7 of Cups, and Page of Wands. Okay. I feel like the first time they met you, I think you were giving off mysterious vibes. Like, I don't know if you were playing hard to get, or if, in a moment we'll look at the context in which you guys meet or met, but if it was maybe like they heard about you from a friend and they went to like look you up on social media and you had no social media, or it was like private, or I don't know, I think there was just this like mysterious vibe. They just like couldn't figure you out. I also think you had a lot of options when you were meeting them. And that kind of caught their attention of like, wow, she is like in high demand. she, they, he. I'm assuming you're a female watching this based off my analytics, but it does not matter what your gender is or what the gender of your person is. But when they were thinking about you, they're like, oh my God, she has a lot of options. She's mysterious. I'm trying not to say she, but I did it again. I also think it's possible you were juggling quite a bit, and something about that caught their attention. Like maybe, again, they learned about you that like, oh, you work and you volunteer and you're involved with your family and you have a pet and you have a social media business. Like, I don't know. So it could be you either had like a lot going on in your life, or you had a lot of options, whether it's a lot of people vying for your attention, a lot of people wanting to date you, or just a lot of things competing for your time. And they're like, huh, should I vie for their time as well? I'm also wondering if when something that caught their attention about you, I think is possibly like what you were going through at the time and how you handled it. So possibly you had a lot of options. Maybe there are a lot of people vying for your attention and dating because a relationship just ended for you. Or a lot of things were competing for your time because, I don't know, you just finished your degree program and like now you're searching for a job, or like you left a job or got fired from a job and now we're like, huh, what am I going to do next? But I think the way in which you handled the situation wasn't like, oh my God, my life is over. It was very much with this awareness that when one door closes, another one opens. The ending to something is a new beginning of something else. And I think they were also curious about your curiosity and, again, the way you see the world. So again, I think you treated whatever ended as, what can I do next? Like an exciting prospect where you were listening to yourself and your intuition, and not as like, oh my God, my life is over. Again, if this was like relationship wise, you got out of a relationship, and like, that's not to say you didn't grieve it at all or were upset about it at all. But you like, you weren't like, I'm going to swear off love from now on. And I also think you were not like, oh, I must date someone exactly like them because they were my type. Like, I think you were open to a lot of possibilities there. Yeah, I think that was something that like originally caught their attention. Just like your way to handle things. Also a mysterious vibe to you, but then also like, they have so many options. Like, I kind of want to get in on that. Like, I want to throw my hat in the ring and see if they'll consider me as an option. You, my dear, are popular. Even if you don't feel popular, I feel like this card comes up as well when I think about like online dating. So it could be that you've got, you know, like 50 likes in your stack or whatever. Or maybe with online dating, you don't feel like there's a lot of options, but there are. Yeah, so even if you're not fully resonating with this of like, oh, I have so many options, I think there's some that you're not even aware of, whether it's like, there's someone at work who actually wants to ask you out. There's someone at your workout class that like wants to ask you out and is interested and just has been waiting for you to become single. So even if you're not aware of it, I think everyone else knows you are a hot commodity. Not that you are a commodity or a product, but you are hot stuff, and like people want your time and attention. Okay, let's see the context in which you meet or met, if you've already met your person. The context in which pile 3 meets or has already met their person. And in my other groups, we've been doing like the physical context, but then also like emotional. So let's see. Okay, back to this idea of like death. Like I think they're meeting you as something ended, whether that is a relationship or a degree program, a job, your lease ended and you're moving, like something ended. That's when they meet you in this kind of in between waiting period where like you're figuring out what is next. And again, I think this is something that for a lot of people, they would have handled it by like, I don't think they would have handled it well. Like, oh my God, my world just got turned upside down. What am I going to do? Like, it's going to take them a minute to recover. I think you right away were like, huh, now I have this opportunity to like try something new. Again, that idea of, yeah, this thing ended, but it just means that like something new and something better fitted for me is like going to be happening. Back to that, like trusting the universe, like we saw in the world, and also the Two of Wands. The context in which you meet as well is you're giving off queen energy. So I think this is also why people are so attracted to you. Even if you don't see it, like literally everybody else sees it. Literally everybody else sees it. Everyone else wants to be your friend. They want to work with you. They want to date you. They want to be in your realm. Like you give off such good, like high energy. Like their frequency is raised. Their vibrations are raised when they're around you. And you're giving off, at least in this context in which you end up meeting this person or will meet, you are giving off this air of confidence. Again, you're not like destroyed by whatever just happened. You're confident, you know that things are going to work out, and you're making decisions out of confidence and not out of fear. Like you're not jumping into a relationship because you're afraid you're going to be single the rest of your life. You're going, what do I want out of my next relationship? What do I want in a partner? I know what I have to offer. So who is going to be best suited for me? Who's going to be the best match for me? Back with that Two of Cups that we started off with your personality. Now, in terms of the content and context in which you meet, we've got the Hierophant here. Sorry, I don't know why I cannot get this up. Okay. And so this is often a card of traditional institutions, traditional teaching and learning. So what this could mean for you, you could meet this person in the context of a class of some sort. If you are literally like in college, it could be in a college class. If you are out of college, this could be a work training session. This could be a workout class. If you take anything like a cooking class, improv. If there's any kind of structured, there's an instructor and then there are followers, it could be that. If you're involved in church or another community organization, like I just think it's like a structured group gathering. Potentially the context in which you meet, there could be the possibility that like they are the instructor and you're the one there, or vice versa. Like you are instructing a yoga class and they end up taking the yoga class. But it's not, that would be if you're adults. This is not in like an inappropriate way, like professor and student or anything like that. Everything is above board here. But I think it's going to be in a more like structured potential way that you meet them. Although this could just be that like if you did meet like in an online dating setting, I think this could be that one of your early dates though, if not the first date, was something where you guys were like learning something. Okay, this is gonna be really nerdy, but this is just an example. Maybe there's like a TED Talk going on campus and you guys go to the TED Talk and listen to it together. Could be something like that. I'm trying to think of other activities. Like all I'm thinking about is like cooking class or cookie decorating. It could, I guess, be like an organized event of some sort. I used to live in a town that would do like they did like a hot cocoa crawl one time. So like a bunch of businesses in downtown served different flavors of hot cocoa, and you paid, I don't remember, let's say $25, and you got your little like stamp thing, and then you walked around to the businesses, walked around them, even if they weren't like cafes. It was just a way to like get people in, but it was an organized event. So it could be an organized event, a 5K, like I said, cocoa crawl. If you're watching this during the holiday season, then it could be some sort of like Christmas town event. But I think it's like structured in some way. So whether it's literal like a class or an organized event, that's either like a first date or one of the early dates you do, or literally the way in which you met them. Like you could have met them in the wild. But again, considering the Seven of Cups, I do think there's a possibility you are meeting them in an online dating setting, and you just happen to do something kind of organized for one of the first dates. Which, hey, sounds fun to me. I now also actually want to look at like the emotional context in which you guys meet. So, like how were you feeling if this already happened, or how are you going to feel? Again, take what resonates with you. We'll pull clarifying cards if need be. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So oh, can you see this? Your headspace, okay, we've got 7 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, and 2 of Pentacles. I think you're feeling very protective over the life you've built when you're meeting this person. So this could be like, if you're happy in your singleness, or not necessarily happy, but like content in your singleness, this could be you are only entering my life if you're adding to it. And you're like very protective over that. This could be you're very protective over your schedule. Just I think this life that you've built, you're really protective over it. And you're like, I only want someone if they're going to give me that 2 of Cups energy, where we are equally paired and equally matched. With the 7 of Swords, this is usually about like deception or hiding things. So I don't know if there's anything you keep hidden when you first meet them. Like maybe you don't quite tell them what your job is, or like how much money you have. I think there's something you keep hidden because you're just protective over it. Maybe you live by yourself, but out of like safety reasons, you're like, I don't want to tell this person that I live by myself, so I'm gonna say that I have a roommate or I live with my sibling or something like that. So I think mentally you are just like, I'm protective of my life, I'm protective over things that I have, and I think you might even fib a little bit. I don't think it's so extreme. I think it's something that you're like, if they're the right person, they're not going to be mad at me for not being completely truthful. And this could even be like a lie by omission kind of a thing. Yeah, so mentally, I think you're just assessing, is this person going to add value to my life? Are they going to contribute to my balanced life? Are they going to be an equal partner? Or not? Because if not, they don't need to be here. So I think you were in this like skeptical mindset when you meet them, or when you will meet them. So lastly, we're going to say anything else we need to know about this connection. So far, these cards, we're going to pull some oracle cards. So far, they've been really about like the context, or, wow, that's a lot of, I don't know if I want to do that many. Why not? About the context in which you meet. So we'll see. we'll see what goes on here. And then I also want to pull a spirit of the animal oracle. Okay, bison abundance. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. Okay, let's see all of these. Okay, I'm gonna start laying these on top. But we've already got. Can you see those? Okay. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Earth school, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. A new earth, it's happening, keep holding the vision. And I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Then we have abundance right here. So I'm getting a few messages here. We had school and higher learning. Remember we had the Hierophant card. And so I think it's really possible you're meeting like at school, in a class, at a university setting. Even if you're not in university, maybe there is like a speaker or a concert coming to the university and you go to that event and somehow you meet your person through that. Again, this could also be like Parks and Rec classes or something like that, but I think there is some component to university when you're meeting this person. This meeting, this person is destined, so I don't think you need to worry about it. There is going to be abundance in this relationship. You are going to be equally matched like you've always wanted to. Didn't you have some page energy and 6 of Cups as well, right? So like inner child. I think you're also, in addition to helping them see life different, you're going to feel safe enough to, like, your inner child is going to be safe, but you feel safe enough to like be your full self. Be your silly self. You're going to feel all that with this person. Yeah, again, I think this is happening like, even if you feel like, oh my God, did I just mess that up? Like, did I mess this up? Did I not take a chance when I was supposed to? Like, there's nothing you can do to mess this up. You've got 2 cards here saying this. You've also got a few cards saying, let God in, or sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom, teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. So if you're spiritual, loosen your grip. Again, this meeting is going to happen. It's meant for you. There's nothing you can do to make it not happen. So let the universe in, you know, back to your 2 of Wands, really being connected with your intuition and the universe. Like, keep holding on to that, even if you're feeling like, oh my God, it's taking so long. Because I actually think right here we say it's happening, keep holding the vision. So if you haven't met them yet, I think it's happening very soon. Or you've like met them already, right? You've met them already. If not, it's happening very soon. Like, I think you're either one of the groups where it's like, no, I'm watching this and I already have my person, I was just confirming. Or you're right around the corner from it. Because here's the thing, guys. Not in this particular reading, but in other readings I've done recently, I keep pulling the oracle card from this deck that says, wait, the timing is not now. And so the fact that you got the card that says it's happening makes me think timeline wise it is happening quite soon, and it is going to be full of abundance. So even though, again, I think you're meeting them at a time that is kind of rough, some doors were closing for you, this new door that opens, right, with that death card, is one that is full of abundance. allows you to feel like a child, be your full authentic self, and it is the fate that is destined for you. And that's all we could want, right? To find our soul purpose and find the people we're meant to connect with in life. All right, pile 3, this was your reading on why your person is attracted to you. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more. Last week I did a reading all about your person and their personality, what you admire about them, what annoys you about them. So go ahead and check that out. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye.